Warning: following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse Presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 4, Episode 14, The Mordant Spire. Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's bring in our wonderful cast. We have Eldritch as Khan, the Bloody Rizzolo.
Always great to be here. It's been a hot second, you know?
Has, unfortunately, but glad to have you back. We've got Shane as Umbromancer Zavid.
Did you hear a crying baby? No, you didn't!
We heard nothing. And Elliot as Reese Giltleaf, the Heartseeker.
Hi, everybody. I'm gonna meet my mom for the first time today.
Drama! As always, I am Lumbee Bronzearm, will be your DM for today. Last time, Lux Et Umbra celebrated the marriage of Queen Dany Arion and Bruce Mithralarm. All of their friends, family, and townsfolk showed up to the reception at the feed mill, the local watering hole. A raucous party was thrown, as rowdy as the town of Etrin's Folly could manage for a royal marriage anyway. Percy Month provided the spicy catering, much to the chagrin of Zavid's sensitive tummy. Reese had a couple stout ales and took to the dance floor, entertaining none but himself. As is her queenly duty, Dany made the rounds, ensuring all enjoyed the party. During the festivities, a wagon led by Devon McAllister pulled up outside the feed mill, carting a huge wedding cake behind. This immediately struck Zavid as suspicious, as Devon had recently been acting much more antisocial than usual. The planet Triaxis the Wanderer had been heavily weighing upon Zavid's mind, body, and faith since its alignment a month prior, so he easily recognized the same effects within Devon. With some questioning and a little magic, Zavid was able to determine some dark force had coerced the farmer into delivering the cake. Not wanting to start a commotion, Zavid took the reins of the wagon, but not before realizing his magic powers had been severed. Panicked, Zavid hayad the horses forward, but after a short distance his magic came back. Using the power of Mork, he then let all of Lux Et Umbra know there was an emergency and to evacuate the feed mill. In the ensuing chaos, Zavid was only just barely able to cast True Seeing upon himself before it being tackled to the ground by the cause of this magic sink. A terrifying magic bane Bandersnatch, a beast of the Fey world, held Zavid down as Dany, Reese, and Khan jumped into the fray. It became quickly apparent why Devon was forced to deliver the cake for Dany's wedding. It was, in truth, a cake golem. Khan quickly learned that her gladius simply sank into the spongy fiend food flesh of the golem, causing little actual damage. Luckily for Khan, she was able to dodge out of the way as the cake golem lobbed flames from its candles. Unfortunately, the pinned Zavid took the full brunt of the conflagration. As Reese and Dany exited the feed mill to help, two small semi-mechanical bird drones, of the kind the Cogito Machinist was known to use, burst from the cake golem, dive-bombing Dany and Seratulia, the simulacrum of Princess Seratulia Arion. Blood and ice water were drawn from their bodies, and the bird drones attempted to flee, their genetic prize in tow. Knowing their gambit was at risk, Lux Et Umbra allowed Dany's blood to be taken, as her grandmother Empress Talandia Adasaril had cast several enchantments upon it. The enemy will get nothing useful from Dany's blood, and it will reveal where they have taken it. Seratulia's ice water would reveal that she is not in actuality Seratulia Arion, so Dany took action. Using her ever-strengthening druid magic to transform herself into a massive black dragon, Dany took to the skies, chasing down the bird drone, crunching it between her sword-length fangs. From a distance, Reese sloughed off enough of the cake golem's moist, delicious innards by using his arrows of elemental water to render it a puddle of useless batter. Seeing its goal half completed, the magic bane Bandersnatch teleported away, leaving a bewildered Lux Et Umbra thanking their lucky stars the enemy had fallen for their ruse. But how long will their luck hold out? That's where we're coming in today.
And never
The
meet
infinite-
your heroes. Bandersnatch.
Never.
The Bandersnatch, especially.
Yeah, Magic Bane Bandersnatch. He's a really good actor, but kind of mean in person. But this is where we come in today, in the infinite floating void of Baba Yaga. The massive Harrowmat stands before you with a dozen basketball-sized, court-sized cards, each with pictures of familiar PCs upon them. And then Baba Yaga taking up the entire horizon, flowers in her dress, her raven locks floating around her. She looks down at you and says, "Welcome back, players. It is so wonderful to see all of you again.
Yeah.
It has been
Nice to
too
see
long
you
since
again.
you've been here, Eldritch. Wonderful to see you. But I believe, Shane, it is your turn to pick this week. Please come forward. 2 have been chosen, 10 remain. And remember, the one rule, you cannot pick Zavid."
I look around. I see that there are some who are characters that have been played by those who remain here, but some who were played by those that do not remain here. And so I see Dirge, Rockgut taken. I look over to Demirius and I walk over and see what Saren Ray's grief has for me.
Demirius Altharona, eh? Very interesting choice. A good friend, but one who frightens Zavid greatly. Let us see what he has in store. Baba Yaga reaches down her massive hand, flips over the card, and standing before you is Demirius Altharona, half-elf, massive man, full plate, with a huge fauchard in his hand that you know he got from an old dwarven ruin given to him by Saren Ray herself. He looks to you and he says, hey there, Shane. It's good to see you again. Overlady here says she wanted me to write something and give you a little bit of Saren Ray's light, so hopefully this will help you out a little. And he pulls out a book, tattered religious tome. He flips it open and flips to a certain page, and he begins to read. Well, you wonder why I'm called Saren Ray's grief, why you never hear the ends of my belief, and why does my countenance seem to have a downward crimp? Well, the reason is that I am Saren Ray's simp. Saren Ray's grief takes some of the darkness off your back. Gain 5 hero points.
Oh my god.
So this takes effect immediately. You, Zavid, can add 6 now because you get your weekly hero points. So you now have 6 more hero points to use as you see fit.
Abe would be proud.
Wouldn't he? And with that, Demirius looks to you and says, go with Saren Ray. And wow, he becomes a blue transparent hologram.
I'm going to take a look at these hero points and briefly consider swapping to Saren Ray instead of Kapuri. If this is what's in store for Zavid, maybe he just needs to find a god that does this shit.
Mm-hmm. Be a little polytheistic or something. But Baba Yaga looks down to you and says, very well, the card has been chosen. A good friend indeed. Hopefully we can see him once again. We'll see you soon. Ta for now. And Baba Yaga fades away once more into the distance. This is where we're coming in today, on the back of the Windseeker, and I apparently forgot to put all of you on there. 1 second. Need to take everyone off of the combat tracker. There we are. I've placed you on the Windseeker. Did I share that? You have that open?
Yep, the wind
Great. Yes. And I can show you an update of where we are at. So here's a map of the Saga Lands, because there's been a lot of travel lately, so I kind of feel like I should update where we're at. All of you started way up north. Come on, enter drawing mode. Way up north here in Skildmer. That was where Gunnar became Linorm King. Then you teleported via the Entshard back to Truma. Then you went back to Skildmer. Then you've traveled on the Windseeker down to this large island here. And that was where you went underwater to Adelina's secret diving spot, and you found both the submersible apparatus of Quadish, a submarine that you now own, and you found a gem that will allow you to convert the Windseeker into essentially a spaceship. It's a magic gem that will put a bubble of air around the Windseeker. And I think I have a picture of the apparatus. Yes, I do. This is the picture of the submersible that you found. It looks like a crab made out of metal. But yes, that is where you are right now. You are on the eastern side of this island, right over here, and the Windseeker is sort of just hovering just off the coast. These islands here, this one specifically, is very much like you know in the movie Up, where they show in South America the tapuis. They're like mountains that come straight up out of the ground. That's like what this is, but in the middle of the water. It comes straight up, really high cliff sides. But it is a new day. I believe last time I already had Zavid and Khan roll your saves, and both of you saved, which is great. But yes, so when you get back to the ship and start loading the apparatus of Quailish on board, getting it down into steerage, where have you, Adelina comes up to you, Reese, and she says, "Well, Reese, we're pretty close to Ma's place. You think you're ready for this?"
Gonna have to be, but no, I'm not.
Well, you were pretty young when we left. You were only about 9, barely a toddler.
I
But
barely remember anything.
I'd be
Really?
surprised if you did. Well, she was always out looking at that damn tower across the water there. I think you can just kind of see it just at the horizon. And if you look with just out of the edge of your vision, you can see just the tiniest little black dot just appearing, peeking up over the water.
Yeah, I don't know. It's meeting a stranger that shouldn't be a stranger. And I don't know how I'm supposed to feel.
I can't imagine you would know. Not something you've experienced before, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I just know that because of what you three did, you were able to let me wish her free of that curse. Sever her from that damn tower. Its power, hopefully it doesn't have any more effect on her. That's because of all of you. I owe you everything. So,
I definitely used the gift from my father for this reason, and I don't have any regrets of that right now.
well, hopefully that'll continue, eh?
God, let's hope so.
Well, Zavid, you want to take us out? We need to go to the southwestern side of this little island.
Aye, aye.
Alright, could you roll me a sailing lore check publicly, please? Looking for, like a 30... Ooh. Not quite. I can have Adelina help. That will do it. Because you just needed a 30. Unless she gets a nat 1, which she did. Oh my god, look at that. Got a natural 1 for a 29. So
It is a rocky start.
it is a rocky ship. It is raining. I should turn off the snow. It is no longer snowing. Yes, there is a little bit of rain. Nothing too difficult, but perhaps your mind is elsewhere, Zavid. It is definitely a bit rocky. There's a lot of turbulence. It's not a pleasant ride for anyone. Let me see here. As you were getting close to the southwestern side of the island, Adelina will say, "Well, if we just pull up over there, I think we can walk the rest of the way. Don't want to, think we're invading from the sky." She's a bit old-fashioned. I don't know if she's ever seen an airship.
No? Okay. Yeah, no, let's not frighten her.
Hey.
I'd rather not.
All right. So you're able to get kind of a rocky stop here between Zavid and Adelina, though. You are able to get the ship parked, get it anchored, all of that goodness. Adelina takes a moment before setting off the gangplank. Definitely smells like home. Well, no time better time than the present, I suppose, eh?
Yeah. No.
So it's just a bit of a walk down here through the forest. Hopefully I should remember. My feet remember the path, I think. So Adelina will walk you through, and I should have had that prepped. Sorry.
Did I still have the Windseeker up at least?
Yeah, that's good. I only need like another 6 seconds. So you're walking through the forest. There we go. And you come across kind of a hill that's surrounded by trees, and there's a small opening in it. On the side of the hill is a little log and stone cabin, and I should put you on this map now. There we go. You can close out of the Windseeker now. And what you see first that startles you a bit behind the cabin is a very, very large pink-blossomed tree in the middle of what appears to be like a homestead garden full of cabbages and the like.
Cool, it's very black here. Oh wait.
Oh,
It's floating. It's floating.
Did it look? Okay, good, good. There should be a black like square in the
Okay.
center.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
Okay. Whew.
Yes, this is what you see. And as you turn that corner, Adelina says, "Oh, damn! That tree got larger. It was smaller than my knees last time I left.
It's been about 100
Holy
years.
shite.
So
I mean, I know, but shite.
just grow.
Things change."
Yeah.
But
It's
everybody
pretty,
give me
though.
nature checks in the tower, please.
Sure.
Yeah. Nature check-in. Where is my tower? There we go. Sorry, I made the screen big and then it hid over everything.
Yeah, that it hides stuff. Okay. Zavid, you're not entirely sure that that is even a tree. You're suspicious of it. But, Khan, you recognize those pink blossoms. They're really familiar. They look just like the blossoms that Dirge's tree grows.
Oh! This isn't an end child, is it?
I have lit a torch, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, Zavid, look, you got a 6. You got a nat 1 for a 6.
That's fine. With an untrained check,
Yeah.
too.
That was a good one to roll a nat 1 on.
Yeah.
That's a funny one. Get it out of the system.
I've got like a can of kerosene and a fucking torch, and I'm like, are you sure? I could burn it right now.
No.
What would
It's not
burning
even
it
your
tell us about
property.
it?
I mean, look at it. It's suspicious. It's like not normal.
You're not normal.
Is it? Maybe it's some sort of cursed tree.
We shouldn't light it on fire before we figure it out.
I'm sorry, we don't have a druid with us, so I figure we might as well. I just kind of can see the rest of everybody looking at me like, dude. So I like douse my torch. I'm like, whatever. Fine. But if I see a branch on that tree move that isn't explained by the wind, it's over.
It'd be a friend.
I like look over, the tree's flipping me off. Like, God damn it. Ah.
I'd love to see that happen. Reese just takes a look and is there anything I could do to like see if I can recall anything?
Let me think. What do you have? What are you trying to recall?
Oh wait, I do have things. Hold on, I have a lot of feats.
You have many feats.
I have so many feats. I would make so much money on that. Anyway, I think there we go. That's for a person. Thought I had one that would help me read what the land of everything was like by looking at things.
I'm not sure. I don't recall that. That sounds like a ranger thing for sure. Incredible senses, maybe? You notice? No, that's not it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but basically, I want to like see if I have any memories deep within my brain. If there's anything that stands out that like.
Okay. Just roll me a wisdom. Just straight up wisdom in the tower. Just go to your main tab and grab that +2 and throw it on your tower. Okay. You remember the smell of the dirt. You're kind of getting a familiarity with this earthy soil, and it feels calming. Something about the earth, the plant life here, has washed you in a calm. But as far as specific memories, no. You know how smells kind of trigger feelings very easily? Yeah. That, but it's from the earthy, loamy soil in this area.
Okay. All right, I'm good then.
All right. There goes nothing, I suppose.
Yep.
So, Adelina starts to walk up this little hill here. Let's see, where's it? There's the entrance on the front here. And she... Oh, why is Danny on here? Oh no, Danny is supposed to be here. That's right. Ash just isn't here today. And then Adelina walks up to the front door, and she knocks 3 times, kind of loudly, and waits. You hear rustling from inside, and some movement. And a few moments later, the door opens. Standing before you is a lovely but older elf woman with long white hair that looks exactly like Reese's, just more wavy. Reese's is a bit more straight. And she holds a stick, like a walking stick, that's curled at the end, and it has pink flower blossoms growing out of this stick. She wears a long green dress, a green cloak to match, and she has a little smoke-colored cat that lounges and sleeps lazily across her shoulders. She opens the door and looks stunned for a moment and drops her stick. And she says, "Is this some kind of illusion, Reese?" "Hey there, Ma. I'm back.
Hi.
And look what I brought." "Is that..." "It's Reese, Ma. I brought Reese home."
Yeah. Hi.
And her face erupts in just the widest smile you've seen. She says, "My baby boy, Reese." And you could see tears welling up in her eyes as she lunges forward and grabs you into a huge hug. It's surprisingly...
How tall is she compared to Reese?
She's about 6'3". She's tall.
Oh, so she's
tall,
a little shorter than...
but shorter than Reese.
Shorter
yeah,
than
she's
Reese,
shorter
so
than
she's
Reese.
I'm just not like giant mom, like
Right, but she's shorter, or she's definitely taller than Zavid, I think, right? Aren't you about 5'10", Zavid?
Yeah, Zavid's
Yeah.
probably 5'10". Maybe his posture makes him a little shorter.
Sure, yeah. She's easily half a foot taller than Zavid is, but definitely still shorter than Reese. And she says, I never thought I would see you again. I don't even recall how long it's been since you left."
Roughly 109 years or something like that. I don't know, give or take.
"Yeah, I think 109's about right. It's hard to keep track when you're it's so busy out there."
Reese just looks at her, just like,
Yeah, hi, thanks. She says, "Oh, all of you must have come from so far. Please, come in. Who are all of your friends here?"
Oh.
Looking at Zavid and Khan.
Yeah, this is, Zavid. He's interesting to be in his body. This is Khan the Bloody, because she's really good at killing, and then, this is, like, my best friend growing up, Danny. She's really good at doing, spells and bard things.
"Oh, it's wonderful to meet all of you, dears. I'm not sure what you meant by being inside his body, but he seems like a capable young man."
We switched minds once, so
Oh,
we walked a mile in each
tantalizing
other's
magic.
shoes.
I always tried to tell you to walk a mile in another person's shoes before you judge them. But I'm so sorry. Where are my manners? My name is Leilani Giltleaf. I'm Reese and Adelina's mother. It's wonderful to meet all of you. Please, welcome to my home. Come in.
You understand that you have a poisonous tree in your backyard. It's not normal. It's...
Oh, you mean Gerald?
I look at everybody else and I'm like, it has a name.
It has a name, Zavid.
Just
Which
because it has a
means-
name doesn't mean it's cursed.
Maybe it's got a bad attitude. Ever think of that? And I look, I'm like, does Gerald have an attitude problem?
Oh, sometimes he speaks to me at night, but it's only natural to miss one's late husband. I see you're confused. I apologize. When my
when Reese and Adelina's father, rest his soul, Gerald, he passed many, many years ago, and
Immediately go to Reese. I'm like, your dad's a tree.
well, not quite, but in a manner of speaking, he was a very wise druid in and of his own right, and he always carried around his neck a single acorn. Always said that upon his death he wished to be buried with it, and I gave him his last rites.
So my dad
Con
is a
gives
tree.
Evita a smug look.
So the tree is your sibling.
Oh no, my late husband. It's Adelina and Reese's, well, I suppose, in a
That's
manner
what I
of
mean.
speaking,
That's
yes.
Gerald. That's your brother, Gerald Jr.
Hmm.
The tree.
I suppose it could be considered a sort of child.
Reese, don't you want to talk to your long-lost sibling? You too, Adelina.
I mean, I do remember him carrying that acorn around his neck, but I had no idea that's what happened.
Yeah. And I thought having a Goblin King for a father was the most normal thing in the world.
Oh, your father was a wonderful man, rest his soul. Gerald was a very powerful archdruid in these parts. He was able to stave off the whispers for a long time on their clans, but after his passing, it was hard to ignore.
And I want you all to roll. Actually, just Reese, roll me Aslanti lore in the tower on that one.
Yep. On it. Nope. I don't get good on that.
At 20.
Holy
40.
shit!
That I just shared it for you. There you go. So, yeah, you Reese, it's not something you even know. It's something you feel. Once she says the whispers, something in your mind you understand that you know that this tower, this Mordant Spire, it is the physical manifestation of the soul of a Kavna, the god that Adelina worships. During the Earthfall, when that meteor was coming in, a Kavna raised up and got smashed into it. That was when Bix's ship hit at the same time. Remember the big cosmic coincidence? And then a Kavna fell to the ground. That's when Pipette ate the flesh, became Ashipo, blah, blah, blah. But this entire time, a Kavna's soul has been trying to get to Pharasma's boneyard because she died. But so this tower is just crystalline God soul trying to reach the sky, essentially. And you know that. And you also know that the surviving elves of Aslant are kind of cursed husks. They're really not there mentally because they're obsessed with this tower, and they're obsessed with getting the goddess to the sky, helping, go with the goddess to the sky. And you're suddenly realizing that it must do it through whispering to these people. That's like the soul of the goddess whispering the whispers. You rolled a nat 20, so I give you all of
Holy
that.
fuck. That's
Good time for
Elliot
it.
saying that, too.
Yeah.
So Reese just kind of whips his head around and is like, you mean those whispers that you were hearing and from the tower he was hearing too?
Oh, I've heard them before too. I always thought it was just my imagination or just the wind coming off the waves, but you can hear voices at night on this island.
I'm learning more and more about my family and my back story, one might say. Wow, that's a lot.
Oh, well, there's a lot to know about this island. That tower is really something. I haven't heard much of the whispers in, a couple of months, I think. It's been quite quiet.
And you realize that a couple of months pretty much coincides with the timing of your wish.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. That seems that would drive most people a little up the wall.
It is annoying. It makes you really want to go out and find the source of the annoying sound and just stop it, but you just end up wandering and you lose track of time very easily. I've lost...
That's not
And she kind of looks off into the middle distance as she says that.
That's because here, Zavid, do you have the new pamphlets printed up with the pop-up pictures?
I have the prototype. We have to find a printing press to get them made, but here. And then give her this, like, cutout. There's lots of, like, whatever the equivalent of, I guess, Scotch tape in this world is, of just, like, putting this together. So it's very delicate. I'm like, be careful with this.
And there's, like, a pop-up solar system that comes up, basically, and it's all, like, paper craft if you just, like, hold the tab and everything. And Reese explains what's going on as he's pulling, like, the tabs. And, he's like, all right, so, you're losing where your sense of direction is, I believe, because of Percy's line.
I have noticed that lately I've been getting lost on my way to the Mushroom Glade. I know where it's at. I've been going there every day for 3 centuries. It's odd.
What kind of magic do you do, may I ask?
Oh, that's a perfectly valid question, I suppose. I'm an herbalist mainly. I grow my own poisons and remedies, mushrooms, anything of that nature, anything that mixes together. And I gather forage in the forest as well.
Right, because if you had
A bit of druid magic as well here and there. Your father, he taught me a little bit.
Right. Right. So he explains the whole thing with the conjunction. I'm not gonna do that. Elliot
Yeah,
has
that's
no
fine.
spoons for that.
Screen wipe.
We've explained the conjunction 10 million
so
times. That's
many
fine.
times. Good. So
That's why we
he's
came
done-
up with, we hand them a pamphlet. That's
Yep.
the shorthand.
This is just the new prototype. As things get
that's-
closer.
This is wonderful, dear. And you know what? I'm gonna put this over on our icebox.
And she takes it over and puts it on the front of her icebox.
Amazing.
We may need to make a new prototype.
It's okay. That paper wasn't really standing. That's why it was a prototype.
Well,
Zavid tries not to cry. He's got, like, cut up fingers and stuff from... Here, let me make a will save. Nat
Nice.
4. He does tear up a little bit, but he doesn't show any of you. He just kind of turns around and just kind of does that.
A lot of pollen.
Yep. A lot of pollen.
I have hay fever.
Oh, you must all be so hungry. Come on in. Let me prepare something to eat.
And she starts going and starts preparing a little tray of snacks and foods, puts on a kettle of for tea.
It's wonderful to finally be back here, Ma. It's great to finally see that you're doing so well. You were looking a little sickly when I left, but I know that was long ago. Things are going to get a little worse, but they'll get better eventually. Reese and I'll see that.
Sure. Yeah. I think
Yes,
when she
looks at them.
says, I think
Go
when
ahead.
she says that, he just kind of like looks over at her and like and nods, just for assurance.
These three are very capable. They brought me back here and helped me bring Reese back. That's wonderful, dearest. So where are you off to next? Is this just a small pop-in?
Essentially, we're headed to hell soon, so that'll be fun.
Oh my! You're going to Cheliax? Goodness!
Yeah, we have a meeting actually scheduled. So it's not a pop-in like this. We
It's a business meeting, you know.
Oh, business in the Empire. Exciting.
yes.
I
hope
think
it
you
goes your way.
misunderstand. And then I'm gonna look at the other two and just kind of seeking permission to be truthful.
Yeah, he nods.
The Cheliax Empire is not as it does not rule the continent the way that it did centuries ago. It has since a lot of nations. I did some reading. A lot of nations. Actually, do I have? I have Society.
Society,
I've trained
yeah,
in
roll.
society,
Yep.
so I do know a little bit. If you want me to roll, I can do that.
For sure, roll in the tower.
I can help
Oh,
you.
Whoops.
Wherever it went, it's fine. Oh, yeah, look at that. You know whatever it is you want.
Yeah. Have a
Um,
boost.
so
Yeah, call it a 30, or yeah, call it a 40.
I'm
You
like,
got it.
well, so you see, a lot of nations rebelled against the empire that had been subjugated. They've declared independence.
Oh my.
Sheliax has been reduced back to its ancestral borders. They're still around, but they're no longer the empire they once were.
Truly.
Truly. When we say hell, we don't mean people who forge pacts and stuff with the hells. We mean the actual hells. We are going to be taking a little visit to the 9 hells. Upon the, yes, we've been invited by Asmodeus.
So,
Yeah,
You
it's a
don't
big
say.
appointment. It's
I imagine so. Goodness. Well, just be sure to dress to the 9s.
That is-
She laughs at her own mom joke.
That is legitimately very funny. Zavi doesn't laugh because he doesn't get it at first, but I think that that's hilarious.
I just came up with that, and I appreciate it. I've not been sitting on that joke.
Zavi doesn't
actually
know the
very
expression.
shocking.
I think that's why he doesn't laugh. He's like,
Yeah.
Fair.
the what?
The 9 hells. Just to the 9s.
Do they each have an article of clothing that they specialize in? Do we need to make sure that we have the special one for wherever layer we're going, or
Fedora's on layer 1, mullets on layer 2.
I will not. I
Appointment's
refuse.
cancelled. We can't be wearing that.
Appointment canceled. World doomed.
And after a bit, she starts to spread out some food. It looks really good, mostly vegetarian, with some eggs, maybe a small bit of bacon. She does have some pigs, so she might have a little bit of salt pork to go along with it. It's not much, but she wasn't expecting visitors. But she is able to provide you with a meal, some hot tea, and she says,
Do all of you need a place to stay for the evening? I have plenty of room in the other room if you have if you have bedrolls, or I have plenty of blankets.
I wouldn't be opposed, Adelina.
Sounds great to me. I love the smell of this old house. Smells like home.
It's
Oh, great. That sounds wonderful then. Oh, you can just take up anywhere you'd like. You can wander around as much as you want. There's not much to see here in the house, but it's a very beautiful forest if you take walks. You're free to go talk to Gerald if you'd like.
yeah. Let's go visit Gerald.
so... Does everyone go, or is it just like you?
I'm gonna go.
I
and-
go, but Khan, like you see that I have the can of kerosene and the torch again. in my
Yeah,
hands.
I think Konya's gonna make sure he doesn't burn down Gerald.
I wasn't gonna.
Then why'd you have it?
It was just in case.
Uh-huh.
Just in case Gerald starts going crazy. All right. Maybe I was gonna burn a little bit just to see if it's alive, just to
It's
burn
a tree.
its roots
It's
and
alive.
you know what I
There's life
mean.
in the trees. I mean, it's a living being. And I don't appreciate you burning down my family members. So, be it true or not.
You use his own argument against him, and it works. And he goes, "You're right. I'm sorry. I missed that.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I think something about it just felt really weirdly familiar, but I couldn't place why.
It's fine. I mean, it might just be your fear of Demarius.
Demarius.
Yeah, doesn't he have a tree like that?
We have a tree like that.
Dirge
Then it
does,
hit.
not Demarius.
Then it hits V goes, Dirge has a tree like it's an Nth shard or something.
And yes,
Got it.
that's what it sinks in. This is
So
definitely an
after
Shard.
all of this, he finally gets there and he goes, all right, I'm sorry. And he just shuts up for the rest of this visit,
Yeah.
probably because he's embarrassed.
But yes,
Kerosene
basically,
away?
I'm giving you another fast travel waypoint. Essentially, is what this is. So
Yeah.
it's another
Yeah.
end chart, so you can. Yeah, it's a fast travel waypoint, is what this is. So yeah, if you want, Reese, you can walk up to. I'm just gonna move over there, and Danny will walk up with you, and she'll say,
I've been researching these druid spells. I can help with this actually. You take my hand.
And-
he does.
so she takes your hand and touches the tree, and Danny cast Speak with Plants into you. So you are able to ask this tree 3 questions. Suddenly in your mind, you feel a connection to this tree as she's holding your hand. Like it's almost like she's using herself as a wire.
All
to
of us feel this?
You can hear it, but Reese is the only one who can speak.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I've never thought about speaking. Great. Oh. I above table have no idea what I should ask this fucking tree.
You can talk to each other. The game is paused, and you can talk to each other.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, so you can-
What do I ask a tree like this that would actually help us?
Can I make a vibe check on the tree? Can I
Hell yeah.
perception check it?
Tower, please. Perception.
Yeah, I want to see if this tree is like happy to be near Reese and Adelina, or if the tree is ambivalent.
It seems to have a lot of blossoms on it. It seems very healthy. You have seen a corrupted Entshard once before in Ilkana's dungeon. She was trying to corrupt an Entshard to corrupt druid magic. It was one of her experiments. Dirge burned it with fire. But
Are
so
they
you've seen
connected? All the
all
Entshards?
all Entshards are connected. Yes. So basically, what this one knows, other ones might know, maybe. But for your perception, yeah, it seems this very healthy and happy. This doesn't seem like a gross, corrupt, evil Entshard. You've seen those. I think I might have a picture of
I guess I'm trying to see when I vibe check it. I want to know, like, does it seem? This is the dumbest thing I've ever said. Does it seem like it's reacting to Reese and Adelina being there? Like they're able to connect to it. Does it seem? Do I see anything? With my perception.
With that, you can see some leaves at the top of the tree begin to rustle a little bit more than they were before. I do have a picture of that corrupted Entshard. So this is what they look like when someone is trying to make them evil. So yeah, you know pretty well.
And it was called Horrible Plant.
Yes, Horrible Plant. Oh wait, and then if I identify it, it's corrupted Entshard. No. I called it Horrible Plant until you rolled a check against it.
Mm.
I do that with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, you can use a Veed would see that some leaves start to rustle a little bit, almost like a dog wagging its tail.
I am going to like, psst, Reese.
Yep.
Give him a hug.
Reese steps
There.
forward and while Danny's hugging. Him and Danny are gonna hug this tree.
Mm-hmm. Very hippie stuff. Throw me a nature check.
And then I say, haha, tree hugger, and then I walk away.
Nature check.
I will. Yep, and I will have Danny aid you as well. Cool. All right. So you hug the tree, and you feel in your brain a warmth that you have felt once or twice in your life. Most recently, when Balag Makar told you he was proud of you. You feel the same warmth in you as you hug this tree.
Kind of rests his forehead on the tree. Just connecting with that. He looks at Danny, he's like, Danny, what you ask? What do we need? No, where the other shards are, or where we else can fast travel? Do they know that? I don't.
I mean, it might know the locations of other Entshards. That might be a good thing to ask.
Yeah, I was kind of. So he looks at the tree and looks up at Branch. He's like, so I'm just gonna call you Dad. That's okay. Anyway, where are the other Entshards that are like you?
My boy, they're all over the world. And you can find them wherever you can feel them. and you feel a glow in you as you're able to suddenly sense this tree in front of you, more than just in the sense of touch. You know that it's there, and you reach out with your mind, and you can feel Ash the Red-Haired's Ent Shard up in Skildmer. You reach further, and you can feel Dirge's Ent Shard at Shadow Valley, and more of them start to pop into your brain as you can feel ones you've been to, and you start feeling others that you haven't been to, and you're suddenly realizing there's dozens of these around Galarian. I don't have a map right now populated of them, but I will make you one. There are dozens of these, and you now know where they are.
Cool. Awesome. That'll be great for him.
Do you communicate all that to us?
Yeah. I eventually will, when I'm done talking with the tree.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's one.
Is there anything we can help fulfill that was not before you left us?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. So is there anything we can fulfill before that you weren't able to before you left us?
Your mother is free, and both of you have grown up into adults I can be proud of. You've done everything I could have ever wanted. 2 down.
Down and... Alright, above table. Does anybody have any
Yeah, do any of you guys have something?
useful questions that isn't just Reese being a sad
Hey, you
boy?
got a useful one. Unlocking the locations of the Ent Shards, that was a good one.
That's what I was thinking.
Hey, I'm not really coming up with anything.
I mean, the Ent Shards, I would like to know if there's one near where Rovagug was imprisoned. We need to get there quickly. That seems like a good one to know.
Oh, I have a question.
Hmm.
And it's like, if it wouldn't hurt you, would we be able to utilize materials of this tree to weapons or anything that would be able to aid us to save the world?
Of course. I am an ever-giving tree. You may take of my branches. You may take of my blossoms. Anything to aid you, my son. And then the warmth fades from you as the magic wanes.
Is Danny able to hear all of that?
Yes, because she was like a conduit.
Okay, I thought so.
And I can show you a map. It's just gigantic, and it already has a little few markings on it. You see where that kind of black bullseye is?
Uh-huh.
That is the Pit of Gormuz. That is where Rovagug is imprisoned. And let me see, where is it? Let me get rid of all that markings. There's at least one here at the Temple of the Everlight. I would need to look at the map a little bit further to give you a proper estimate, but at the very least, there's one there, which you are currently, if you have to zoom out, you're way over here. So that's the distance between you and what I think might be the closest Ent Shard to Rovagug. I don't know. Again, I'd have to check. But there's at least one at the Temple of the Everlight.
Neat.
Which, if you don't remember, that is where Danny's family went on the pilgrimage when all the siblings were kidnapped and Danny's mother was killed. Temple of the Everlight. That's where the pilgrimage was too.
Well, good news, everybody. I know where all of the Ent Shards are now. All of them. And this is my father. So please don't burn down my actual father. Thank you. And 3, he said we could utilize his tree-like self to make any weapons or anything to help us aid our trip. So Khan, if you want to craft or make materials about anything, his petals, his branches are all for grabs.
Yeah, whatever you can come up with, Con.
she thinks about making a potion out of the petals that can instill within you the feeling of your father being proud of you.
Oh!
You would be the richest person in the world. Good God, roll for that. I want you to try. Oh,
Wow!
Crafting
wow.
check.
Talk about fantasy.
Oh no!
Wow, you rolled really high. Look, you rolled a 46, natural 15. Yeah, I'm gonna say you can do that. Well, good God, what do you do? Like, I want you to just do a little more. That was too good to
Okay,
just say
okay.
you did. That's too good to just say, yes, the dice say you did it.
Okay, so I'm observing, the happiness that Reese is feeling. Con couldn't really understand what was going on, but intuitively, because she's shared, so many good moments with her own father, and she knows deep in her heart that he's very proud of her. Even if he maybe doesn't completely know how many people she killed, she's like, wow, that really is an incredible feeling. I wonder how much. I wonder if you could distill that with science.
That's amazing. And I
And
have.
so when Reese gives her the go ahead to like take parts of the tree, she starts like scooping up the petals. She'll take out her alchemical supplies. She'll like press them down, extract their essence. Um, and then she'll just like hold the potion very close to her own face and just think good memories about her dad. And then the potion changes color, and that's how you know the process is complete.
I love it.
You do so, and I've put that in your inventory. It's called Potion of Father's Pride. I'll figure out what that does mechanically later. That's priceless.
I
Like literally,
think
that would be priceless.
that would be a great inspiration.
Uh-huh.
In fact, take a hero point for that.
Yeah.
I think what Reese wants is to have a longbow crafted of the wood of the tree, and all his arrows that he has make them be part from the tree. So he's literally carrying his father around with.
Oh yes, Ant Shard Bow, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Again, I will stat this out later. I'm just putting a dummy item in your inventory called Ant Shard Bow.
Yep.
Cool. I like that a lot.
That was like the literally when I saw the tree, I'm like, I really want to make that a weapon. I want to make
I'm into
weapons
it.
from that tree so badly.
You're currently wearing your Lenorm armor.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
got the Lenorm armor and carrying around weapons of my father. Let's go.
That's super rad. So, is there anything else anyone wants to do before long rest? No? Zavid? Con?
I mean, I guess role play. I'm still working on the staff when I've got downtime, so I'm still, figuring that out. And also, on the Windseeker, I'd review any books we have about that Bandersnatch thing, and I might even ask, since this seems to be a very druidy type household, if she knows anything, if she's ever heard about this creature. All I know is that it's immune to magic within a certain radius. I know the spell anti-magic field. I think it has a version of this it's constantly emitting. But outside of that, I don't know much.
I am familiar with the Bandersnatch, actually. They are a beast, believe it or not. But strangely, they are a beast from the First World. They are of Fey ancestry, but they are not Fey themselves. But fearsome creatures, fearsome predators. There are many different types, though. It sounds like what you came across is a magic bane Bandersnatch. There are different types. Not all of them have this feature. And let me look back into my memories to see which kind of Bandersnatches exist. Because there's more than one. I had to go back to first edition Pathfinder to find a creature that had an anti-magic aura, and this is literally the only one I could find, was the Magic Bane Bandersnatch. Variants. Yes, here we are. There are
Pretend I'm doing. I'm just not going to do this in character.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's confounding Bandersnatches, which they drip infectious madness from their quills and claws. So they have poison that does makes you confused and such. It does mental effects with a poison. There are frumious Bandersnatches. They seethe with barely repressed rage and anger. Basically, if they fall below half hit points, they burst into flames and they are on fire. There are lesser Bandersnatches, which are like small. They're trivial. They would be trivial to you at this point. Then there's the Magic Bane Bandersnatch, which is coincidentally the most powerful of all of them. That wasn't by design. They do exactly as you know. They have a 20-foot radius of anti-magic aura. You can bring it down with like spells and things, but they can automatically bring it back as a free action on the next round. Then the last one is Primal Bandersnatches. They've kept their ties to the world of the Fae, so they are extra planar creatures. So they have damage resistance to everything except like cold iron. But yeah, those are the 5 types of Bandersnatches.
So, I was recently assaulted by a Bandersnatch.
Oh my, and live to tell the tale. You must be very strong.
No, it was a beast that someone else was commanding. They did not wish to see me dead. I think they underestimated me. However, it was an effective thing to take me out of the fight. And I was wondering if you had any ideas about how to circumnavigate its anti-magic field. As far as I can tell, it essentially blocks all magic of 9th level or lower, which is basically all magic, so I don't see any way that I could use the powers at my disposal to affect it. It also is able to suppress most items. Again, only godly or divine things can affect it, but I do not have any artifacts or things on me, as much as I wish I did.
Nothing just laying around.
No. So, aside from physically affecting it, is there a way to depower it or shut this effect down, even for a moment around, would be good.
Well, Bandersnatches get their powers from the first world, yes? Perhaps if it seems that their connection there must be strong, even here on the material realm. Potentially, if you could interrupt or even sever their connection to the first world, perhaps their magics would go with it. Think of the gnomes. When they are here on the material realm too long, when they do not experience the Fae, what happens to them? They wither, they gray, and die.
I see. Is the connection something magically tangible that if I were to use magic I could sever? It's spiritual. How
You
does
seem to be a man of the cloth.
I'm not a very good man of the cloth.
Oh, self-deprecation will get you nowhere, my child. I'm sure you are quite talented.
I suppose I'm just trying to figure out what the best approach is going to be. But this has been helpful.
Good, I'm glad I could be of aid.
Look into it further. And then it goes quiet.
Great. So anyone else have anything before bed? No? Okay.
No.
So I'm gonna change to kind of night. I can do that time of day. There you are. Yeah, there we go. Did that change for everyone?
Yep.
To look kind of dark?
Yep.
Good. Okay, so it is evening now, and I need I think just Reese and Adelina to roll me perception checks in the tower. Oh, and Danny, I guess. Okay. Reese,
Mhm.
at some point in the night, you're woken up by Danny. She's kind of shaking you.
Hmm.
She says, Reese, do you hear that?
I,
That is Zavid out somewhere, like talking to his god again? I hear whispering.
oh, that's know what that is. That's like the Islanti stuff. That's
And yeah, and as you kind of stop and listen, you do hear it. You hear a voice that says,
Come to the water's edge. Follow. Send help with the boneyard. Help a Kavna. Come, my child.
did any of that go through?
Yep.
Okay.
Danny, write that down.
She does so.
Uh.
Do either of you wake anyone else? Because Danny was the only one who hit the DC on that perception check, so she's the only one who hears this, or heard it anyway.
I wake up Adelina.
She was dead to the world, deep sleep. She got a 26, very low.
Well, the whales are everywhere. Huh? Oh, Hades, what's going on? Is there a problem?
You hear that?
And she stops for a minute and
Oh, shite. Yeah, I do. That sounds like what Ma used to talk about. She used to say that the tower whispered to her, told her, offered to tell her things.
Okay, so this is what she was hearing for years and why she was going absolutely nuts.
Aye. She'd just stand on the edge of that cliff staring at the tower.
Should we go check it out?
Oh, if you think that's what we should do, maybe we should get up Con and Zavid.
Yeah.
All right.
Good idea.
so Adelina and Reese will come to wake the two of you.
I'll gently nudge on. I don't want to wake
Oi.
up Zavid.
Zavid, hey, we've got potentially a problem. You there?
Con, there's the things you can murder.
Like she wakes up immediately. Somehow there's a knife in her hand. And her eyes are like bloodshot.
Oh,
Knew that
made
would
him-
work.
everything else was like that's con, but the eyes being bloodshot was worse. Like you weren't even getting restful sleep.
No.
You were just your eyes were closed, then
murder?
yeah, like whoa, that's scarier than anything else.
So,
Do either of you hear that?
yeah.
And you listen. And you listen. Neither of you hear anything. Reese, you're still hearing it. But Con and
Yeah,
Zavid, you don't.
Con's like twitching her ears around. She's like, "Oh, no, I have big ears. You'd think I'd hear it."
So, Danny, show them what the whispers were saying.
And she hands it to you, and she waits a second, and then Danny will start to say it in time with the voice in your ear, like as though it were recording. She starts to say it, like, you don't hear that?
I'll listen real hard.
You don't hear it?
I like clean out my ear. Big old piece of earwax I can't get off my finger afterwards. Nah, I don't hear anything. I start rubbing it on Gerald.
Oh my god, that's outside.
Yeah, you're welcome to be outside. But yeah, Zavid
Oh,
and
yeah.
Con, no matter how hard you try, you do not hear this whispering. But Reese, you, Danny, and Adelina, it is incessant.
Yeah, I want to figure it out just so it shuts up.
Roll me, just straight wisdom, all of you in the tower.
Okay. I got a +1.
You rolled a 1. Then, Zavid, you just straight up
Sorry,
wisdom.
is that a wisdom check?
Mhm. Just a wisdom
Okay.
check in the tower, yeah. Not a save.
Got it. Let's see. Sheet. Wisdom, where are you? There you are.
Okay. Reese, as Khan is talking about, I should hear it, I have these big ears. You're like, Yeah, she should be hearing it. Why isn't Con hearing it? What is it about Reese, Adelina, and Danny that's different from
Oh, we
Zavid
know
and
it's
Con?
Lanty.
No,
No?
because Danny doesn't.
Elf?
You're elves. Yes, the three of you are
Elf.
elves, and Danny's a half elf. So the
Yeah.
three of you are elvish.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you rolled
No.
a nat 20, Reese.
Okay.
You know, I did
Hell yeah.
recognize that there were a lot of elves in this in this household. Like, you showed the mother, and I was just like, man, we got a lot of elves. We associate with lots of elves. So I'm glad that this has to do with elves.
It has to do with elves, yes. Since Reese rolled in at 20, yes, this thing, the tower only whispers to elves.
Oh
or,
my god, this is
Or
an
elves
elf
are the only ones
thing.
who can hear it, one or the other.
Okay, so I have either like special ears or it's just an elf thing, but that's why we can actually hear this.
What do you hear with your special ears?
ears. Yeah. So essentially, he's just like, oh wait, hold on. This is an elf thing. This is an elf thing. You guys are so lucky you're gonna be able to sleep. Well, you were able to sleep. We should check the tower. If anybody's able to handle it, it's us.
It's light.
That is absolutely accurate. Okay, so Adelina will say, I know how to get there for certain. Followed her there plenty of times trying to see exactly what it was she was trying to do or say, but yeah, anyway, I'll lead the way. So Adelina takes you further away from the house. You can close out of that map now. Put you on here. And she takes you through the woods near where you can hear the lapping waves. It's beginning to rain. There's an outcropping, a really sharp cliff sticks out over the water. And she says, well, this is the place. She'd always come here anytime, day or night, talking about how it was talking to her. And she needed to get the goddess up to the sky. Just crazy. I always thought it was crazy talk, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
This isn't the Mordant Spire. This is
not the
close-
Mordant Spire, that is correct.
No.
This is the southwesternmost tip of the island on which Adelina's mom lives, and you can see the Mordant Spire from across, from where this is. This is just an outcropping cliff.
What's the spire about? I don't remember my history lesson with this one. What does it do? Who lives there? Do we want to just go in and like kick their asses?
Reese is gonna lay down some lore and
Great.
let him know.
Sure. As you're walking, I'm going to just move you all forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you're going forward, you kind of can see it off in the distance. A massive spiky tower rising out straight out of the water. It seems unnatural. It looks organic. It doesn't look like it was built. It almost looks like it was grown. Crystalline, but not. Looks like a shells, spikes. It points. It looks almost angry, reaching up to the sky as high as it can. As you're getting here, Pipette comes out from your cowl. And she says, there it is. That's my home.
Oh.
So, who is in charge of this home?
Well, no one is in charge of the spire itself. It is crawling with, well, I don't really want to call them elves. They're husks of their former self. They have no sense of who they are or who they were. They simply worship the tower. They worship the spirit that is trying to reach Pharasma. But where I need to take you is beneath the tower. We do not even need to go inside.
Oh,
If we're careful, we can avoid them entirely.
let's do that.
Wonderful. So how do you suggest we get across?
And it's not far. It's several hundred yards to get of open water that you would need to get across. And as you're looking, you do see crawling across surfaces like imagine just golems, like not golems, but I mean golem from Lord of the Rings, like lots of golem climbing all over surfaces and rocks in the outside of this, but they're elves, like an elvish golem everywhere.
Ew.
Many, 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 many of them crawling all
Eek.
over this tower.
That's disgusting. Yeah, I'd rather not touch that.
Mhm.
We don't have any spells that let you walk on water, do we?
I've got the water walk. And I'll cast water walk on all of us.
Great, that
Woo.
makes things easy. And then, so let's get some stealth checks in, shall we?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
go.
Tower, please. Okay. Okay.
Also,
Okay.
does Reese have an ability to make us all stealthier?
Yes.
Reese does. And yeah, you're going to want to use that because the way Warden Step works is it's whoever has the lowest bonus, you use their roll for everybody.
Yep.
And Zavid has the lowest bonus, but he rolled way higher than Reese. So Reese, your roll will take the average down. So you're going to
Yeah,
want to
let's
just let
do Warden
Zavid
Step.
take this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Warden Step. Zavid's taking the lead on this because it's his water walk spell. So how do you kind of take the lead on silently walking over water, Zavid?
Well, I imagine that. So here's the thing: Zavid's no slouch when it comes to stealth. He's got a +5 in his dexterity, and he's an expert in stealth. So he's better than most. But he happens to be accompanied with a straight up assassin and someone who likes to get behind cover and basically ranger tactics, right? Like two people who are specifically better than him at stealth,
Mhm.
right? However, they excel at stealth on dry land and are able to utilize that more effectively. Now, while I'm no waterborne creature, I am very wiggly and
Slippery.
I am good at my acrobatics is really good, right? So like, I'm pretty good at like navigating rough terrain and things like that. So you guys are seeing me move like kind of like with a gyroscopic sort of upper body in the sense of like when you have a chicken and you start moving their body, but their head stays in the same. As the waves are moving or underneath, I'm clawing and climbing, like crawling up and down the waves, but like my top of my body looks like it's moving kind of, smoothly as I'm moving everything else to try and like keep my body stationary and then just like moving over it like that. That's how I do it.
And they are able to kind of follow your lead. The two of you are good enough at sneaking that it's no problem following this lead. And you get across very silently. You don't make many waves. When you get near the base of this tower, Pipette, again, leans out of your cowl con and says,
We need to go over there, just at the base, far to the right, just behind that rock there. There's a small entrance that I can show you.
Yes,
Okay.
this way. And I like as she's gesturing folks over, Con looks kind of nervous, which is an expression that rarely crosses Con's face.
yes, do any of you say or do anything about that?
Yeah. I see Khan looking a little bit nervous. I'm like, Khan?
Hmm?
Are you afraid?
If light is such a strong world, and then she remembers she has to keep it down, so,
Yeah. Listen, this is a big deal. You're meeting potentially your goddess or whatever in a way. Like La Choupeau is like a aspect of them, Pipette is an aspect of La Choupeau, but isn't actually the goddess herself. It's sort of like, a mouthpiece in a sense.
Yeah.
And this is big. I get it. I would be similarly nervous if I had to meet my god. I think if you need some time to compose yourself before we go in, we're not on the clock here. We're not in a hurry.
Oh.
I think
do you
when
need a moment?
when we get inside, I don't like being out on the waves. But once we get inside, I might take a moment.
Understood. Yeah, and I guess Zavid will just be aware of that. So essentially, Khan, if you need Zavid to do anything, I'm sure Reese as well. We're now clued into sort of you're not feeling 100% about everything.
So you get to the edge of this tower, and there's technically a beach. There's about 4 inches of sand in between where the tower's edge is and the water. There's literally, you would need to, cronk up against the wall, walk if you were to walk on this water. But you have water walking, so you don't need to do that. And eventually, you come across a rock, and Khan says, "There, behind there," and you come around it, and I'm not going to put your characters on here, but to give you a sense of the scale, this is what it looks like. And Pipette is large for a rat, but she's still kind of rat-sized. So this image is almost actual size. She says,
Look here, this small crack in the side of the tower. This is where that leads to my lair, my home.
Let's go.
you're suddenly realizing this hole is real small. Khan, you could easily bamf into a rat.
Yeah.
Zavid, you have feet.
Well, I have
Yeah, you have
speeds. Let
some
me take a
feet,
look. Let's take a
but-
look here.
Yeah, but can they make you rat-sized?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, because Con
I
is like
have-
looking to the two of them, like what about them?
Let's see.
Yeah, what about the tall?
And Danny and Adelina.
Yeah.
Well, Danny can wild shape, can't she?
That's true. Danny can wild shape. Yeah, so Danny's taken care of.
Abilities, I think is where. Yes, there it is. Quick squeeze.
You've got all kinds of stuff, Zavid.
Yeah, let's see. Now, quick squeeze doesn't mean I can squeeze into anything more little, but I also have nimble crawl.
Danny speaks up and says,
You know, Pipette, you can make scrolls, right? Like you can help people to write scrolls? And Pipette says, yes, as long as the person knows the spell. Well, I learned something recently. I learned how to do the shrink spell.
I just noticed, I'm just looking
Oh
at
my
Danny's
God,
sheet.
thank
She has 6 level shrink. But it's not prepared, but she knows it because she's just got a druid dedication. So what I'm going to say is, Danny can help Pipette make a scroll of shrink because it's not prepared. She'd have to wait till tomorrow to cast it. But then, when they finish it, Pipette can eat the scroll. And Khan, that means you can now know it, and we've established in the past that when you learn a spell, it is then prepared, if you
Yeah.
choose for it to be. So you could know I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you 6 level shrink. Because Danny...
How big is this hole before you shrink anybody? I would just want to know. Like,
2 feet, maybe about this big. It's not big. Yeah, maybe like this big. Foot by a foot.
David's gonna try.
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna try. He's got quick squeeze, so he can squeeze pretty fast. And nimble crawl, so he can crawl fast if there's space for him to do that. He's got very good acrobatics. And worst case scenario, if I have to, I can skirt the light and I can move into the shadow plane. If anyone else wants me to do that, I can try and use that as well for multiple people. Those are what I have. And I have Slink. I didn't even know that. You can move through gloom with the speed of darkness. You can move 5 feet. Okay, that's just
I also
when it's
have
dark, you
swift
move a little
speed.
quicker.
Yeah, swift sneak would help.
So
Helps
I
you
can-
sneak at your normal speed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. That's only Reese though, right?
That's true, yes.
I think we'll still do Warden Step then.
Great. I'll just keep Zavid's on from earlier because that was a good roll. So yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. We've got Khan bamfing into a rat, Danny wild shaping. Zavid's gonna just try it, and then
I would go after everybody, so everyone else
Okay.
can go through first, and then I will.
Wait, shouldn't
do
you
my
try
squeeze.
first, and then if you can't do it, Oh wait, you have Skirt the Light. So yeah, and then Reese,
Yeah.
Adelina are going to be shrunk.
Yeah.
Cool. So Con, what does it look like when you cast Shrink on Adelina and Reese?
Um, I like to think that Khan starts, tracing sigils in this like 4 inches of sand right by their feet, and then she bops them on their nose, and they are tiny. Like, she doesn't need to do that, but it just felt right in the moment.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So the two of you, Reese and Adelina, are now almost the size of Pipette.
Oh my
She's
god, amazing.
like a horse to you now, almost. And then so Zavid, I'm gonna say you need to roll something.
Yes.
Acrobatics, I think, right?
I think that would be appropriate. Let me just do something quick. Okay. So there is actually a feat that would allow me to do this without the need for a roll, but it's like it's a 18th level rogue class feat that I don't know if you ever said I could have it once I get to that point, but I really still want it. From the first time I made my character to now, I still want that feat.
Which one
I
is
want
it?
it's like unbelievable sneakers or squeeze or something where you could basically like squeeze through. You're like an octopus. You could squeeze through like really small holes and stuff like that. And
That's
I want to do that as
I'd let
That's
you
a
have that
beat.
at some point, for sure. It's super funny.
All right, here we go. Acrobatics. Now we have not leveled up yet, have we?
Correct, we have not.
Okay. All right. Tower
Yes.
or just
Or no,
Oh.
public. Let's see. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm gonna hero point it.
Yep, hero point. You have plenty.
I'm not gonna use them all, but
Yeah, don't
I
use
just,
them all on this. That's
there we
better.
go. That'll take that one.
Straight 40. That's a good. Yeah. So I'm gonna say that's a success. That's 5 more than I was looking for. So what does it look like when Zavid squeezes through here? You were the only big one I was gonna let squeeze.
So, if anyone's heard of the horror of Nutty Putty Cave or any of those awful fucking real stories of spelunkers that get stuck somewhere and then they just can't get pulled out and they just die and their bodies are still there today. Awful. Nightmare fuel.
Horrible.
They didn't have something that Zavid has. Zavid is like putty. His bones are bendable. They're squeezable. He can actually squeeze his form into things that don't make sense for normal anatomy because he's a fetchling. And fetchlings have these very sort of not malleable, but kind of like malleable bodies with a bit of pressure. They can be kind of like squeezed into certain shapes. So, he kind of using one arm, he's sort of like side stroking using an arm, and he's like crawling and wiggling like this, and it takes him, I think, he's got quick squeeze too, so he's able to actually go do this kind of quickly.
Yeah, it's quickly. Yes.
What is that? I think I'm thinking of like Space Jam when someone goes into the golf hole and you see the little legs like that, and they go like right in. So he like puts his torso in, and his legs are like kicking around, and then they just go right in. And then the camera is just like this weird shape, and then his head is like in this shape molded to the thing, and he's like as he's like squeezing through. It looks very painful and uncomfortable. The rest of you are like probably feeling fine. You're on the other side and everything, and you just hear grunts of pain and effort as he's like moving through as fast as he's able, and then you see his head like pop out, and it's still like disformed as it has to slowly come back to its normal form as he's like and he when he gets out of the other side, it takes him like a minute for his body to like you know, like a Stretch Armstrong or something. Yeah, everything has to like get back to its regular shape.
Organs have to go back into place.
Yeah, he was out. Like he couldn't do this in combat for sure. This is like an out of combat thing.
Yeah.
100%.
So as all of you are able to get in, it is very cramped. It's very dark. It's very dank. The floors are wet, but it's not like filled with water. You can tell that at high tide it would be though. But Pipette says,
This way. It is not far once we're in here. That is one of the security features. You have to be quite small to get through.
and so she leads. Oh, sorry. Let me unlock that. There you go.
Thank you.
It's usually the first thing I do when I get a new map. I must have forgotten this one. So it doesn't take much to get through here. She leads you to this point here. I mostly just liked this map to show you just how small you have to be
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no monster. There's no traps or anything. The whole point was just to make you small.
It's storytelling. We
Storytelling,
gotcha.
yeah, that's storytelling. So when you get to the end here, Pipette looks at you and says,
Well, welcome to my home. I have not been here in quite a while, but make yourselves comfortable as you can be here in a place like this.
and let me drop you on this map here. So you can close out of that short little cave system. And double check that this is unlocked. It is. So what you see is it opens up into a cave system that has kind of moss all over the place. It's kind of dank, moist, wet in here. And Pipette just says,
Well, just come along.
and she walks into this first room here. And let me open that up a little. I just don't want to show everything all at once.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. Come on, Alt. There's a little more I can show. There we go. Pipette says, and you can see that there's roots growing in from the walls. This is a very organic tunnel. You can see a little bit of sunlight coming out and shining onto a pool of water over to the far east. She says,
If you need a drink, that is generally cool, clean water over there. Anything else I wouldn't recommend drinking. But come, down here.
and she leads you south along this way. And when she gets to about here, she says to all of you,
It has been quite a long time since I've had any visitors who were not, devoted to La Jupeau in some way or another. So what you see in here you may not understand. But as some of you know, it is my edict to take secrets and, claim them as your own. Khan, this is how you gained the attention of the Grandmother Rat. As you know, you took credit for the life's work of whoever that was. We don't need to remember.
We don't.
But, as I've said, you are not the first witch under my guidance. There have been many whose secrets have been revealed to me. I cherish them all like children, and I keep them here to honor their memories.
and Pipette leads you to
I know
area.
what this is gonna be.
that steps down into a pit filled with bones.
Yeah.
Bone poo.
And there are coins and scrolls and books and wands and staves and magic items everywhere, but mostly skeletons of many different species, tall, small, humanoid, not so humanoid. She looks to them and she says,
I hope that someday Khan will join them in their secrets, and they can stay with me forever.
Pipette,
Yes.
this is sick as hell. Non-derogatory.
Thank you, Zvid. I thought you especially might appreciate this.
and as you're looking up, you can see it right there. There's a statue overlooking all of these skeletons. It has four arms, two of which are down in kind of a palms up manner. Two of them are upraised behind it, and it is sitting in lotus style with its sixth legs beneath it. It is a large horned rat creature looking down from above. It's a statue, but is of this large horned rat creature looking down at you. It is frightening, but also beautiful.
Yeah, Khan is actually scared. Like, she feels the bones snap underneath her feet. You hear, like, a big cartoon gulp.
Please, come in. I will not hurt you. I would never force anyone to join my children here. It is voluntary. But If you do not do it, where will your secrets go when you die? Rot in the ground? Forever?
When you put it like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
If there's
Or
something
would you rather they
important-
stay with the goddess of secrets for all time? You do not need to choose now. You have a lifetime.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, let's pick that at another date for me at least.
I'm gonna try to like not step on any bones. I'll like climb onto stuff.
Mhm.
Because
Give me an acrobatics check.
yeah, because to me it's like, look, these bones are useful.
Yes,
You
extremely.
know, like I don't want to even at an 8 with a 33. If
That's
I'm
good
just
enough.
climbing a thing, yeah.
You're not doing it in combat or anything.
No, I'm just making sure I like get a firm handhold. I get up on a thing. I'm like, I bet. How many centuries have you been doing this for?
Oh, well, since the fall of the goddess Akavna, so whenever Earthfall was in your Galarian reckoning.
I don't reckon. I wasn't there for that, but I get it. I see what you mean. That's a
centuries,
long
I believe.
time.
Yes, quite long. But I believe we are here for a reason. Khan, I have a gift I wish to bestow you. It is powerful, but also somewhat of a burden. The end times are coming. This you know, with the conjunction. Powerful enemies will be coming our way. Gods. You are mortal. You cannot slay a god. But I can change this. I can offer you just a taste of godhood, so that you, Khan the Bloody, can become the god slayer that this universe truly needs. Will you accept this gift?
Khan falters a moment, but she does squeak out like, will I still be the same type of person that I am?
You will still be yourself, yes. You will still be an Isoki. However, you will have Nephilim blood.
Before you
Oh,
accept this, I have some questions about that.
Of course. You can roll a religion check if you'd like, Savid.
I would love to, yeah.
Khan's not turning into an
in the tower.
angel now, is she?
Angel rat, angel rat.
if Khan turns into an angel, I might have to conscientiously object to this pact.
You know with that roll that a Nephilim is not an angel. A Nephilim is a divine creature. It's not evil or good. They are non-aligned.
Ooh.
But it's basically a non-aligned angel. Or a non-aligned devil, whichever you prefer to look at it. But it's divine creatures. So Khan, you would still become an Ahsoki. You would still be an Ahsoki, but you'd be a divine Ahsoki. And you could also choose from the Nephilim ancestry feat list. Or whatever it's... Yeah, Nephilim ancestry feat list.
I'll look at Khan. Say, this is a kind of a big deal. Nephilim are like these always neutral divine beings. They're kind of annoying because they never pick a side, but when they act, people stop and listen. Like they're very impactful in that way. And if it makes you feel better, when you die, I will have it arranged that you are not mixed up with all these bones. You'll get your own like sarcophagus, so you can have your own like personal space as a corpse, so that you're not just mixed in with everything. And I'll make it a secret way so that Pipette will want to keep the sarcophagus because there's a secret on how it was crafted or something. Is that all right with you?
Let's keep thoughts of my death maybe to the foul future. You know, who knows if I'd ever die, you know? I might
Right.
just
Well,
never die.
so, okay, fair. Listen. I talk about this a lot because, Caprari, cleric, undead, things like that. But it happens to most people usually. If you are able to keep on going, you're able to keep on going. It seems to me, I looked at Pipette for like, I'm trying to also read Pipette as I'm saying this, because Zavid's motivation here is he's like talking to Khan. He wants to comfort Khan and put her mind at ease, but he also is like seeing that this is really powerful. And he's also being, he seems to be on Pipette's side, but he's looking at Pipette to see if there's anything he's missing. Like, if there's any sort of underlying thing where he might need to be more protective, and not be kind of pro do this thing.
Roll a perception check then in the tower.
Yeah. And obviously above table, Khan can do whatever she wants. And
Yeah,
she's
for sure.
not listening to this feed.
No, Pipette has seemed honest and straightforward ever since Assyrian, when all of this shit first came out. She still doesn't seem to be holding anything back. It seems straightforward as far as you can tell.
These witches of yours, you did not have a hand in their demises, right? There was things that they were their own decisions or old age or whatever, like they just died.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Each in their own time.
So, yeah, Khan, if you want to spend your life after this searching for the, elixir of immortality, I mean, one, that's like the biggest secret of them all. Good luck. Yeah. I think even they would respect that, and you wouldn't have to end up here as your final, tomb or whatever. But honestly, with all of the, do you hear that?
It is the wails of my previous children. They call to me still.
He says, to be honest, a lot of people die. They don't really get a good burial or anything. Some people die and they're not buried at all. They just get eaten by animals in the woods or something, scattered to nature. This is a little messy, Pipette, but I mean, it is nice to honor these past witches. Pipette clearly still cares about them by collecting them in this way. A little gross, but you know me, I don't really mind that. So, all things considered, that's not that bad. It's not like she's like, okay, once your task is done, you gotta die and end up here. It's not like, yeah, right. And I'm joking around. I'm trying to, in my own way, as if be, like, calm Khan down and like have her sort of look at it from a long view, I guess. But
yeah,
how does Khan react to all that?
She's standing up a bit straighter. She laughs at your joke. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to have so much time to figure it out. We have an immediate issue to deal with. So yeah, Pipette, make me a little bit of a god.
I'm here for it.
Wonderful. I would like...
Reese has a phone. It's just like, I'm here for it. Doesn't even look at.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, cool with me.
Dude, sounds good. I'm in.
Yep.
Pipette
God,
looks to each
sure.
of you and says,
I think perhaps you should prepare yourselves for what you are about to see. Please sit.
and she goes up to the statue and beckons Khan to stand in front of it, or sit in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Pipette sits upon the statue herself, right about here. And she closes her eyes and puts all of her all of her hands together, all six of them. And Pipette begins to elicit a light, a brilliant glow. You are almost blinded for just but a moment. And when you open them again, Pipette is no longer there. That statue is no longer there. But what stands before you is the enormous visage of Lao Shu Po, goddess of the moon shadow, horned rat creature, standing upon two legs, massive spiked tail, green emanating from every spike. She looks down to you and says, Khan Ritzerler, I bestow upon you now the gift of god flesh. Eat of a Kovna and become Nephilim. Become
It's like
the
fancy.
God Slayer.
That actually looks delicious.
doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm like Reese and I are like just chatting with each other, like, why is grandmother rat like sexy? What's up with that?
Yeah, like 10 out of like I was kind of thinking wood when I saw the statue. But now I'm seeing her. Damn.
Also, that does look delicious. Kind of jealous, honestly.
You could hear like the two of them kind of mumbling to each other in the back, and Khan's like, "I'm sorry for my friends being rude."
It's
She,
like, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like when you have siblings that don't take this thing that you're doing seriously. Like you're in like Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts, and you're getting like this really badge that's important to you, and they're just goofing off and like, stop it! I worked really hard for this. You know, it's like that. We're just like, sorry, no, yeah. We're like politely clapping.
Yeah, Con, she holds out her hands for the god flesh.
And this massive deity, this god upon Galarian in the flesh herself, hands you this tender meat. It's about just yay big. It's not very big. What do you do?
She gobbles it up.
It's delicious.
Yeah, woo!
And as you swallow, for a moment, you feel nothing. But then a surge of energy. And your eyes glow bright red and green. And she looks, you turn around to each of your compatriots, and all of you are taken aback by the power you see in your friend. And witnessing this deomorphosis of Khan the Bloody has caused all of you to level to 17.
Let's go!
Congratulations.
Level 17, howl!
We did it. We
You
did it. We did it. Yeah, we did it.
So
We found our Shupo. We ate the god flesh. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We did it. Yeah.
So Lao Shupo looks down to you, Khan, and she says, I am truly proud of you, my child. Though our work is far from done. Now, we must speak with Asmodeus. We have to strike our deal. Get the Akias here, the ancient spear, weapon used to commit the first murder. Only with a god weapon can you hope to kill a god. But now, you have the power to wield it. Come. And Lao Shupo transforms back into Pipette once more. And she goes,
I haven't done that in quite a while. How do you feel?
Con is just like looking at her hand. She's like feeling the fluff on her face. Oh, I gotta make new art. Lumpy suggested it actually, but
Yeah.
Con's fur has gone white.
Ooh.
Like maybe there's a slight difference, as in like her chest and her neck fur is very, very white, and like the back fur is like ever so slightly tinted brown, but like most of the pigment is just gone. I think that maybe her eyes are now tinted pink, whereas they were, a dark
Ooh.
brown before.
I love
Mhm.
it.
That's
because
cool.
she looks much more like Lao Shupo, like Pipette / Lao Shupo
Like
now.
you got the lab rat look. You look like
Yeah.
Pinky from
Yeah, like Pinky.
Actually,
Yes.
Exactly.
Narf. Oh no, what's happening to me?
Nice
Adelina,
evade.
Adelina walks up to all of you and says, Hey, that was a bit much, didn't I? I haven't seen that. I think I have something I need to say. I'm pretty powerful in my own right, as are my friends, but my questing is done. The Windseekers have... We've finished everything. Of course, I'm here for all of you at the end of this battle, but you're marching into hell. Khan just turned into a god. What use am I going to be with this hammer? But I've given it a lot of thought, and since Gunnar and Gunnar and Anyanka are up in Skjotmer, and well, she's gonna need a crew. Zvid, I want to turn over control of the Windseeker to you. You're a fine captain.
big. That's a lot. I would.
Walker is gone. They've got control of Skjoldmur now. I think I need to take care of me ma. I'm just gonna hinder you in hell. I'll slow you down. I see that now.
You don't. As everyone is the witness here, you are giving ownership of the Windseeker.
Aye. Fully and completely. Legally and binding.
She hands out essentially the keys. I don't know what ships use.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be.
I legitimately don't know what the proper
like a
thing would
deed
be.
or something.
A deed, yes,
a
there you
deed to
go.
the ship.
She's handing you the deed to the ship.
All right. Then that means you can't complain if I redecorate. I put this in my.
That's on you then.
I'm about to make a fucking warship, guys. This is gonna be, and it's
Yeah.
you know what? It's gonna have cannons, and you know what it's crewed by? It's gonna be crewed by undead. It's gonna
Uh-huh.
be sick as
Hell
fuck.
yeah.
And it's going to be a spaceship once Khan can figure out how that gem works.
Oh my god, this is good. This is actually the coolest. I've never had a fantasy of having a like a pirate ghost ship filled with undead traveling the stars.
That is so
But now you've
fucking
awakened to
cool.
something in me.
There you go.
Now
You're
I
welcome.
really want to do that.
So Adelina then goes up to Reese and says,
You know, I've been away for 100 years. I think Ma needs someone to take care of her.
I think so too, but we need you. We'll give you a call.
Of course. This guy knows how to get a hold of me in the head. It freaks me out every time, but it works.
I understand
Reese.
completely.
I think I need to get back there before this shrink spell wears off.
Oh god,
think
yeah,
you'll-
let's do that.
Well, that's
Let's-
right. I'm
let's
still
go
like
back.
full size, and you're all tiny.
but I think from here you're pretty much moving forward, not going back to Reese's mom's place. So Adelina, Reese gives you a huge hug and says,
Now don't take over a hill without me.
Of course.
You come back.
Oh,
and she walks over to Khan and says,
Con, you're the most brilliant, deadly warrior I've ever seen in my damn life. Give him hell.
You got it.
gives you a big thumbs up. And then Adelina walks off into the metaphorical sunset.
aw. And we all
Perfect.
escape the place, not shrunk.
I need like 5 minutes, and then we can
Okay.
pretty much be done. Cool?
Okay, yeah.
Right, sweet. Maybe 10. Somewhere not long. I don't need much. So, Pipette says to you,
Well, now that that's done, the next step is to get that weapon. But, Zavid, you said that you would like to complete a quest before you have before we speak with Asmodeus, yes? So, if we are to slay the shadow of Ergothoa and slay the Shax, we need to go to Abaddon.
out of character, everyone thinks you want to kill the shadow.
Yes.
Only
Okay,
Zavid
sorry.
knows. Only Zavid knows that you're going to capture it.
Okay.
Yeah, even Pipette thinks that you are just going to kill it.
I would still do that just because it's still a very conspiratorial
That's
thing
fair.
to say
That's
aloud. Like,
fair. Yeah,
I know
I'm
it's-
just
private
reiterating
area.
that only
Yeah.
Zavid knows your actual plan.
Yeah,
but
I
then-
really, yeah. I'm
But if
just
she says-
being careful.
Mhm, Sure. But she says,
If we need to go to Abaddon, we need to go through the Celestial Hallway, which I happen to have access to. Come.
and Pipette points away. You know, we don't have to actually walk all the way around, but to this teleporter over in this corner of her lair. And she says to you,
Simply stand on here, and I can take us there in a flash.
Seems easy enough.
Yeah, why not?
Alright. And so Pipette stands in the center, and she begins to let off a glow from her eyes, a red glow. And in a flash, all of you are gone, and you can close that map. And you are standing in the center of a room that's very bright. Not bright, but brightly lit. It's very pretty, and I need to find a picture of Pipette, sorry, because she's on here. Here, and she's not that big. There we go. So, here, share. You enter this room, and there are doors all around you, maybe a dozen, possibly more. And there are pictures upon the floor of what Zavid would quickly recognize as different gods. And Khan says, Pipette says, "Welcome to the Celestial Hallway. This is where gods travel between realms. It is not very easy to gain access here, but as you know, I am connected to the two Lasher poles, so I can gain this access at any time through my home."
Oh, sorry, my
That
cat.
looked real painful.
Oh god.
Cat walked on his back.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh.
I hope that map has loaded fully, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It has for me.
So this is what you see. You can give me a religion check if you want to know whatever you want to know. And you're free to walk around.
Sure. Oh man, Zen Maps. I could tell they used AI on this.
Yeah, it was, I know, but it was the closest I could find.
It's
to
all
what
it's
I
all
needed.
good.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm just saying.
I was
That's
not
not the-
pleased either, but
If you got a Patreon and you charging people for your maps, you need to do something.
if it makes you feel better, I did not pay for it.
Okay.
That does make me feel better. Actually, that makes me feel a lot better. So each of these leads to the home realm of the god that you want to go to.
Yes. And you can ask
Okay.
questions, roll religion, or whatever you want.
Let's see if I recognize some of these. I think. Okay.
These
So
are
there's
fun.
there's a vial with a skull stopper and some weird liquid in it. Don't know that one. Then there's Abadar's key. There's a big ol' swirly spiral blue thing. That's not Gozray, right? I don't think that's Gozray. Gozray's different, I think. And then the mask might just be mask, or some other like god of like murdery shit. And then there's Ankutan, the skull with the spiky chains. That's Mr. Pain. The pentagram is obviously Asmodeus. The fly with the skull on it is Urgathoa. Lamashtu is the weird, eldritch-looking horned monster thing.
Yep,
3 eyes.
It's a jackal.
It's a jackal. And then we've got 4 elemental gods at the bottom. I don't know their names. We've got, I think, a dwarven god of war, like Tyr or something. I don't know what it's called in this. And then Sarenrae, obviously.
Yep.
Mhm.
The bow. What is that? Artemis? Who's the bow? I don't know that one.
You can roll religion in the tower. Anybody can.
Yeah. I want to know what's up.
Sure.
Religion. The tower.
That's interesting. Khan, you rolled a nat 20 for a 39, and you matched Zavid's 39, or 30 for a 39, and you matched Zavid's nat 10 for a 39. So so technically, Khan actually got higher because the nat 20 makes it a critical success.
Oh
So
my God.
Khan, what would you like to know? You recognize these symbols.
Yeah, call it a flash of divinity.
There you go. Flash of
yeah.
divinity, divine inspiration.
Yeah, divine inspiration.
It's like bardic inspiration, but better.
I mean, I guess like who is this what symbol represents which god? I mean, this
Sure.
god. I can't say words. What does the bow and arrow represent? Which
The bow
god
and arrow
does it
is-
represent?
The bow and arrow is Erastil, the lawful good god of the hunt. That is actually, coincidentally, the god that Devin McAllister worships, the one who kind of crashed Danny's wedding with that cake
Yeah.
last session. That's just coincidence that you happen to pick this one. But yeah, that's Erastil, lawful good god of the hunt. Then yes, you're correct.
Was Devin McAllister the guy that we vaccinated?
Yes, he's the guy you vaccinated. Yeah, against
Oh
his
my
will.
god, yes.
Same guy. Then below that is Sarenrae. I believe she's neutral good. Yeah, she's neutral good.
Mhm.
Below that, I think that's God of War. Is that Grumsh?
Grumsh is the orc god from at least
Yeah,
5e,
let me
like
see.
D&D, but I'm not sure.
Or maybe not. Gorum. It's Gorum, the
Gorum.
neutral good god of war. Gorum.
Gorum.
The four at the bottom are primal lords. They are elemental beings. They don't really have names, and they represent the elemental planes of air, water, fire, earth.
Mhm.
Then Zavid, you were correct. I'm still going counterclockwise.
Yeah.
The one with the three eyes, that is Lamashtu's realm of let me see, the abyss, which is a chaotic evil. Then above that is Abaddon, Urgathoa's domain, which is neutral evil. Then the one above that goes to Hell, which is the realm of Asmodeus, Prince of Hell, or King of Hell, which is lawful evil. Around from there, that is the symbol of Zon Kuthon, and that leads to the plane of shadows. Keeping going, the mask is the symbol of Nethys, the god of magic, the true neutral god of magic, and that leads to the maelstrom. The one in the top, that's Pharasma, so that goes to the Boneyard, which is the afterlife. To the left, again, you were right, that is Abaddon, which leads to Axis, the lawful neutral plane. And then this last one, I don't remember which one that...
Maybe it's probably Fey. If Zankuthon's in the plane of shadows, that must be Feywild.
I know it leads to the ethereal plane, but I don't remember who that symbol is. I can figure it out, though.
Trying to find inspiration. It's fading. Ugh.
But yeah, you know all of that. You rolled a nat 20.
Sweet. I looking around and I say, well, it would definitely increase our standing with Asmodeus if we enact our plan in Baden. Because Khan now has the Nephilim blood, and I would have what I need, and it might be good to get out of the material plane for a bit. Our enemies might... I don't know how quickly they're going to figure out Danny's blood is not decipherable, but they will be scrambling to find where we've gone next. Our trail
Yes,
has
for
gone
sure.
cold.
It would be nice to just, go make a new name for ourselves, somewhere where we are not surrounded by old enemies, but instead exciting new enemies.
Yeah.
And
course.
I also need time at some point after this that I need to start raising undead. I haven't really been working on the whole undead army part of the conjunction. I've been traveling around and now I have a whole place to put them. We could travel on the Windseeker. Plus that means that we don't have to constantly be babysitting the ship. We could have a group of things that are protecting it, just like we have with Shadow Valley. So
Yeah. I am more than okay with that.
I'm going to need to get some... I know we have gems and money more than we know what to do with.
More than you know what to do with.
It's more of I need to find bodies, and I've put that out there that people can join. They could sign waivers to when they die, have their bodies be resurrected to fight to protect their realms and stuff like that. So I have people who are working on that in these different towns or cities. I mean, but I haven't checked in with many of them in a bit to see how they're doing. I think before we go anywhere, do anything, I might want to do a little bit of that before I leave, sending spell to representatives. So we don't have to roleplay any of that, but we could just
we can do that.
You could just give me the cliff notes of what I'm learning from this, or if there's any sort of things I need to be aware of.
Sure. You would be able to Morks to your people, find Alec Chubb specifically in Druma. He would tell you that he does have a couple of dozen people who have volunteered and a few people who have died since you last raised some skeletons. So you're up to 25, 30 at this point, with several more who have signed up in the wings.
Yeah. We need to boost the numbers of people signing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell him, I want to give him a magic item that he can use to help him drum up support. So I'm going to search my inventory.
Cool.
But
yeah.
in the meantime,
Pipette
We,
will
we
say,
can make propagandistic posters
There you go.
of like
Yes, of course.
True.
skeletons in armor.
Now,
Like
I imagine them like the communist posters of like the Chinese and the Russian like holding hands, but like it's a
Mhm.
skeleton and a human. Propaganda
God.
posters in Galarian, that would be great.
yeah.
Ooh.
Pro necromancy propaganda.
I can't.
But Pipette will say to you, well, if we need to go to Abaddon, that is the realm of Urgathora. Her shadow lies with him. But
But we
I
need
can open.
No. It
don't we
is-
need the god slaying sword? Or is that Asmodeus's
That is
That's
within
Asmodeus.
wield?
Asmodeus owns this, yes.
Yes.
So the thing is, I am under pretty good, I have reliable information, a little secret for you, that Urgathoa is wise to our efforts to stymie their plans, right? And has closed off interplanar travel to her realm. I don't know if your portal will work, but we've
Turtle.
yes, but we have considered other options. For example, the river Styx, which travels through all the lower planes. Could
Does, yes.
I think
Most of
it's-
them, as a matter of fact.
Did we decide it was Abadar's lawful neutral city has like it
Yeah,
starts
I threw it in
there?
the chat there. It starts, I believe, at the Boneyard, which is near Abadar's land. I think that's correct, yes. So Pipette says, well, I suppose we can try. And she will walk over to the symbol on the floor of the giant fly with a skull on it, which you know to be the unholy symbol of Urgathoa. And Pipette, her eyes glow red. And she touches the symbol on the ground, and a loud bang! And Pipette gets launched across the room and skids across the floor. She says,
I think you may have been correct, Zavid. She has locked me out.
I'm sorry that you found that out the hard way.
I needed to find out at some point.
she gets up and shakes herself off, crawls back up into Khan's hood.
I am going. Oh, I know what to do. Sorry, I was looking through my inventory and I figured out some stuff. I'd like to send some things to. I have a spell, I think, where
That
you can like
mailbox.
send. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So to Alex Chubb, I'm gonna send him, along with a little handy guide for translation notes. I'm gonna ask Reese for help on this one.
Yes.
The Grimoire of Osiriani Necronomicon. I've already read this. I read through it. It's mummification process. It's not really spells as much as it is like preparing bodies to be raised. This is really handy for that, and it's like lost sort of knowledge on just preparation of the dead. And since he's Alex Chubb, has he joined Cabreri's
Yeah. Pretty much. He's become a child of Cabreri at this point.
that therefore, because he's part of my church, it is not sharing necromantic secrets with an outsider. It's within the church, so I can
That's
actually give this to him, along with the hieroglyphic set. That was the other thing to help like translate stuff. And then I want to send him. What was it? Was it Corrupt Spellbook or Staff? One of the two.
Either or.
Yeah, let me double check. what they
it was the
each do.
book. The spell book is the one that had Raise Undead at 1 through 9, and that was all that was in it. It's just Raise Undead, Raise Undead, Raise Undead. He was
Yeah.
brute forcing control of that undead city by just casting it once a day on like everybody.
Oh, it's Bind Undead. That's what
Bind
this
Undead,
one
that's
does.
it, yes, Bind
I
Undead.
see. I think I'll. Well, what is? I guess you can just use a slot without having to prepare it and just use the book. Is that what the idea was?
Yeah, without using slots. You can just use the book.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm keeping the book.
It's
That's
great.
too good. But the staff, what the staff has is like, it's got. Okay, maybe not. It's got command at 5th level and crushing despair, and then at 6th level is dominate and feeble mind. I'm not trying to make Alex Chubb like an evil guy.
Right.
Let me look here. I want to give him something else though. He
But yeah,
needs one more thing.
Sure. The mummification and the hieroglyph set's real clever, though. That'll help him a ton.
There it is. Osiriani embalming tools. I remember I swiped those too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the whole set here. And you know what? It's not on my list, but I'll give him some text that I've been holding on to of like Cabriri stuff that he can then speak from. So he can like actually share more specific tenets and stuff of the religion.
All right, I like
if he wants. Yeah.
That should help significantly in your propaganda search.
yeah. Basically, because I need him to do this on my behalf because we're going to hell and shit. So like I can't do this myself. But anyway, sorry guys. I just wanted to do a little housekeeping.
Yeah,
on that.
for sure.
Yeah, go for it.
So we have here that the door to Abaddon is locked. Can't get through there. You do know that the River Styx goes to Abaddon. It goes to pretty much every one of these planes. So the question is, which one are you going to start in to try and get to the River Styx?
How many planes does the River Styx pass through from Abadar's plane of law to get to?
You.
Yeah.
River.
Preferably, we'd like to go the least amount of distance, but it would be kind of nice to go on a tour of the outer plane.
Yeah, here we go. It snakes its way throughout the outer sphere, and it touches on the planes of Axis, Hell, the Outer Rifts, which is where Abaddon is, and the Maelstrom, before finally pooling at the base of Pharasma's Spire. So, like, Axis or Hell would probably be your best bet.
I see.
Which, you're going to Hell at some point, but later.
Yeah.
Axis comes before Hell or after?
It would be the one closer to Abaddon, or yeah.
Axis is closer to Abaddon.
It would either be that or the Maelstrom.
I think Axis is then the move, because that's going to get us to Abaddon the fastest. We're also not going to enter Asmodeus's domain before we're ready to have our meeting with him, which, you know, it would be a little rude if we like go through Hell and then we just didn't have that meeting, and he's just like,
Bro.
"What's up? You're in my domain. You're just traveling. You're not going to even say hi to me." What the hell, man? Literally, what the hell?
What the hell? Literally, yes.
We always make jokes like that here. He's just like a really charming guy.
We like to have fun here.
We like to have fun here.
Very well. Is this your choice then? Abadar? Axis, the land of Abaddon?
Axis? Yep.
Well,
Can I make a religion
Makes
check
more
on it?
Absolutely, whatever you'd like.
I'm
In the
scared.
town, please.
Sorry, I'm like getting nervous.
I'll give you help.
Sure.
Oh god, it's not much help.
No,
I'm
that was
sorry.
pretty good, actually. That'll give you a plus. You're trained, that's a 2.
What am I?
And you can have guidance for yourself.
I don't know what happened to my character sheet. I don't know how to open it up.
You're still there.
Interesting.
You're trying to roll religion? Is it just hiding behind a map or something?
Maybe. Hold on.
Yeah, try closing some
Character.
stuff.
Skills. If I do that. Oh.
Do you see the square at the top left corner of the screen with the picture of you? You should be able to click on that. Try clicking or double clicking that.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. What is my what skill check am I making?
Religion.
Thank you.
All right. What are you trying to know?
I want to know the rules of access, and I know there's lots, but so it's the big ones I want to know about. Do we need to pay a toll? Is it like a taxable thing? Also, mechanically, if we roll damage, do we always take the average of everything or something like that? Like, you know, what should I know about access before just we all jump in there and like, you know?
Sure. Well, you know that it is a realm of law, obviously. So you do need to follow whatever rules there are laid before you. Clearly, things like murder are illegal, well, frowned upon anyway. You need to pay your taxes. There will be customs toll, like a toll and customs type check-in. That goes without saying. And you know that this is the realm of Abadar himself, god of commerce, cities, rules. But I think you also realize that proselytizing chaotic religions is probably not a great choice.
Mhm.
Which
Fair.
would be most of you. Well, I guess cons isn't chaos; it's neutral evil.
I imagine crime is very rare, or if it when it does happen, it's immediately dealt
It's
with.
punished quickly. Yes,
Yeah. So
it's kind of a brutal realm, authoritarian.
I think so. I tell everybody this. I'm like, I think we need like to bring some different kinds of currency, like gold and maybe some gems. I don't know what the currency they use there is, but I don't want to be in a long line, then go to the guy, and he's like, well, you got to pay this toll in this currency. We don't have it. He's like, well, then you got to go to the exchange rate in this line over there and wait 5 hours. So I'd rather just have everything we need, all our documents, everything that we need to have
That's a
with
good
us.
idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Sure,
It's
so you're
just like,
able to-
it's basically the DMV on steroids.
on
That's what
steroids.
I'm
It's
imagining. Yeah.
DMV the plane. So you're able to gather your gems, gold, things of that nature. You're able to have them in your bag of holding, and Pipette wanders over to the large key, and she says,
Well, if you're ready. Hopefully it isn't. This one isn't locked too. That stung a little.
I just remembered. We know Lumbee Bronze Arm.
"You do."
we do.
We could just call Lumbee and ask them what we need to know about their god's plane. I like just remembered we met the champion of Abadar.
You did.
I'm gonna call Lumbee
Great. So
on speaker for everybody.
yeah, and you get the dusty blonde halfling who has her hair in space buns, lumpy bronze arm, and her green halter top, and her shield on either arm. She says,
Oh, that's funny. A funny little spell. Hey, who's this?
Hello, Miss Bronzearm. We've met once. This is Avid. I'm with my friends Khan and Reese. Say hi, Khan and Reese.
Hi.
Hey, of Lux Et Umbra. I remember you. Yes, Jophiel never stops talking about Khan.
Yeah.
Yes. So, hey, listen, we're about to take a little trip to your god's home plane of access, and we know that there's like some preparations we need to make before we get there. So like, and then just I'm gonna start asking her about all the bureaucracy type stuff,
Yeah.
and if there's anything that like tips we need to get from her. So basically, whatever she feels like we need to know.
Well, I'd say the biggest one is to always carry a bunch of coins in your pocket. Anytime we need to prepare our spells or pray, the followers of Abadar, we take out our scale,
and she shows you a silver scale, and she says,
and we balance coins on either side, left to right, silver, gold, or platinum, electrum, whatever you want. But it's usually good to be able to do this along at the same time when it's prayer time.
All right, very
Just always
good.
have coins.
Yeah. So coins are and I'm saying this and I'm looking at you like, do we have our coins? Like coins are the
preferred
thing we
currency,
need. That's
yes.
awesome. Great. We've got plenty of coins. And they don't as long as we're not proselytizing, if we follow gods that may be of a chaotic bent, we're not going to get overcharged or arrested or anything like that if we're just moving through.
Just claim your gods on your customs forms. Just like any other kind of a vegetable you're bringing through, you're still bringing through the essence of the god.
Okay, all right. Good to know. Lastly, do you know if there's do you know the prices of the tolls we gotta pay so we know how many coins we have to, we're using the river Styx. We're traveling down the river. So how many, what's our price range?
Well, I know for certain that the boatman requires a toll of coins, so again, keep coins on you at all times. I'm not sure what the going rate would be for traveling the River Styx. I haven't been recently. But I think you should be able to at least find prices there.
All right. Okay, so we'll just take 10,000 coins.
As long as you can carry it.
I'm thinking of between Malagbakar's Reese's inheritance of just a massive amount, plus Reese's sister's fucking heist and all the shit that we got from that, plus the dragon horde, plus
That
just
should be
everything that
fun.
we have
Truma.
access to.
Because
Yeah.
Danny's here. You have access to her,
Oh, God.
her
And the
treasure as well.
treasury of
Yeah,
Truma.
the treasury of
Yes.
Truma.
I
You have
think we
more
might
than
have
enough. Yeah.
I love that we don't keep track of it. We just assume we can.
I
We're
stopped
rich.
keeping track so long ago. It's not worth it.
We're so rich. We don't even
Yeah.
think about it.
Mhm.
Like, how much does a banana cost? $10.
There's literally no way Lux Et Umbra could spend all of the wealth you have accumulated. It would be impossible.
Yeah.
Don't try me.
Yeah, right.
All right, so we make arrangements, and I guess we're ready to go. Like, I basically out of game. I was just fishing for any
Mhm.
because it's a plane of laws, and I can't help but think of like the Feywild, and
But
like
here's
you
the thing.
can't don't say thank you, don't
It's lawful,
eat the food.
neutral. So they don't have any. There's no trickery to their laws. They're straightforward, cold laws.
Well, there might be loopholes and stuff.
I'm sure there are loopholes,
Right.
but there's nothing that like hell would put little weird things to trick you into breaking the rules. Whereas
I
Axis
see.
ain't gonna do that.
But Axis is full of like sovereign citizen types who are just like,
probably,
I'm
yes.
not using a vehicle, I'm traveling, which means that I don't have to pay this.
This is my domicile. It is not a vehicle. Yeah, there's probably a lot of that.
I claimed this land with 4 hatchets on wooden posts, and so it belongs to me.
There's probably a lot of that there.
There's
Yeah.
in the
In the
UK,
outskirts.
that's like an outdated law. If you claim land, you can throw 4 hatchets and claim the square of
Oh my
it.
god.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Oh Lord, laws, they're ridiculous. But
they're weird.
Pipette looks to each of you and says,
Well, stand clear, I guess, just in case it's locked.
and she creeps over to the door with the keys on it, reaches up her paw. She looks away and her eyes glow red as she boops the door, and the door
Ooh.
opens with a calming, warm, golden glow. And I think this is where we're going to stop for this week.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much for
Badass.
everyone. This was great. Level 17.
Level
finally.
17.
Oh my god. So if you want, after stream, we can level you guys up real fast.
Easy peasy.
But I think, Shane, you said you're out next week?
Yes.
21st?
Next
Yeah, so-
week, I won't be able to play.
I think let's just skip next week. Plan to play the week after. So, all right.
Hold on.
I already looked. It's the following week.
Okay, so we're bi-weekly.
So,
Cool.
yeah. We're good bi-weekly for the next couple of weeks. So hopefully we'll see everyone in 2 weeks, and hope you'll join us. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.